Hello there, I'm Ludwig de Smet. Welcome to my channel again. In this video I will talk about a bike I tested yesterday and I will be able to ride it more today. Klever Alpha X Pinion, bike with 1200 watt hours battery, and I will compare them to, or this bike to my Velomobile in daily use. So let's get on with it. First of all, why I test this Klever bike, Klever Speedpedelec. Actually, when I bought the Velomobile 4 years ago, I have tested one before. That was I think 2018. Then beginning of 2019, I bought the Velomobile. It was delivered. I think August 2019. Why I chose for a Velomobile at that moment? Well, there actually wasn't a Speedpedelec available that could do the 54 kilometers I need to do to work on one battery. The biggest battery at that time I think was 850 watt hours, and that wasn't enough for that trajectory. And now they have a 1200 watt hours battery, and this bike has that 1200 watt hours battery. I have the bike from Special e-bikes in Zottegem, Belgium. Thanks for that. And I chose a ride home yesterday that does exactly 55 kilometers, but I had some detours to make. So in total I did 60 kilometers with it. What are my main findings? First of all, seat position, or seat and handlebar position is, although a little sporty, is quite comfortable. I expected it to be more race bike, so more pressure on the wrists. But that was very feasible. Although after an hour and a quarter, and a quarter ride, I had a tendency to stretch my back from time to time and to look for different hand positions to release the pressure on the hands a little bit. I do feel a little limp in the back now. But that's probably because I seldom ride an upright bike. I have an upright bike, a classic, an old, I think a 30-year-old Trek upright bike, but that's only for shopping here in the city, which is 2 kilometers away. So mostly I ride like 10-15 minutes with it going. So I'm not really used to an upright bike, and that would probably get better when I ride it more often. So, but overall, quite comfortable seat position. I was very positively surprised with the Kinect suspended seat post, which filters away mostly all the bumps and I wouldn't call it potholes, but all the bumps and unevenness in the road. In riding, what is the most important difference, I think, is that when riding an upright bicycle, two-wheeler like this one, you only have one wheel that needs to make the trajectory. When riding a Velomobile, you have the width of the two front wheels that need to follow the road. So if there's, for instance, a short bend in a cycle path or whatever, you need to much more go left, right, etc., to make sure that your exterior wheel is always within the trajectory of the cycle path. With a normal upright bike or with a recumbent two-wheeler bike, you just have to make sure that one wheel passes, and you can clip corners much further than with a Velomobile. So in tight corners, in fast left, rights, etc., this is much easier riding than a Velomobile. Yeah. Difference in support. Well, as you probably heard before, my Velomobile is supported up to 45 kilometers an hour. This is supported up to 45 kilometers an hour. But big difference in the Velomobile, it's the pedals have a motion sensor. Here it is a torque sensor. So this means that your support is depending on how hard you pedal on, or how hard you push on the pedals. While in the Velomobile, you can just rotate the pedals, and the support level is actually dependent of the level you pick on your electronics settings. So if I pick support level 1, I have support about 125 watts. If I pick level 2, I have support of about 250 watts. And here the support level is dependent of the push you give on the pedals, and also dependent on the support level you pick in the menu. So if you pick a lower support level in the menu, like touring, you need to push harder to get full support. If you set support level on max and then full power, you need to push less to get full support. But anyway, I do have more tendency to pedal on cadence. Yeah, have a good cadence, and this is harder here, because if you pedal on cadence, you're not, by definition, I think, not putting a lot of pressure on the pedals, and then you don't get a lot of support. So it's very, very well noticeable that if you push a little harder, then the bike accelerates immediately and gets you faster going. But if you pedal purely on cadence and on having a high cadence to get you going, then you get a lot less support. About battery capacity, this is 1200 watt hour battery. The battery in the Velomobile is 630. With the 1200 watt hour battery, I did 60 kilometers yesterday. I couldn't do them all on full power, so I needed to shift down to touring mode and do a little less assistance. And I got one, well, actually it has 4.5 bars indicated in the menu of battery. I had the last battery indicated in red, meaning that the battery was almost empty after 60 kilometers and not on full power. Whilst with the Velomobile, I can ride about 100 kilometers on 250 watt assistance, which makes the range quite a bit bigger, because if I switch the assistance down to 125 watt hour, I can ride about 4 hours, and with 125 watt I ride about 35-40 kilometers an hour. Wind noise and weather protection, of course, Velomobile is protecting you against the wind, and that's a huge difference. I rode to Zottegem yesterday in the Velomobile with a couple of t-shirts and one cycling jacket, and I had to put on 2 pullovers and a winter jacket for coming back with the Speedpedelec. Also, wind noise in the helmet is quite annoying, and you have the impression that you are constantly riding against a hard headwind. Whilst in the Velomobile you are completely wind free, especially with the hood, with the winter hood. With the summer visor, I am almost completely wind free. I have a little bit wind above the head, but this is something to certainly keep in mind. With the Velomobile yesterday, it was about 10 degrees Celsius. It was comfy, and I had it warm, even slightly sweating. with the Speedpedelec, it is quite cold. I needed gloves, and I would eventually have done with another layer on the chest, because it got quite cold on the chest. Although I was sweating, so that's a bit an annoying thing, getting sweaty and in the cold wind at the same time. That's not really ideal. I should have taken my earbuds with me coming back, but I only wore them on the Velomobile. I wear it on the Velomobile not for wind noise, of course, but for bodywork noise, because Velomobile is an enclosed bodywork, and all the noises get amplified within the bodywork of the Velomobile. So I started wearing earbuds like 1 year ago, and I'm very pleased with that. Road vision is of course better on a Speedpedelec. You have a higher looking point, so you are at 1.5 meters above the ground. With the Velomobile you are at 60 centimeters above the ground, more or less, and it's much more difficult to see bumps and curbstones and so on from that low sitting position than with the Speedpedelec. Of course, you still need to be very careful, because at 45 kilometers an hour, a ridge or a bump or a curbstone, they come very fast. Yeah, and we are obliged to ride cycle paths, and the cycle paths in Belgium are not good. Yeah, so except for where the speed limit is limited to 50 kilometers an hour, we are obliged to use the cycle path, and there you have plenty of level differences, curbstones. Wherever there's an entrance, you go down, you go up again, etc., etc. So a lot of things that can be better, but alas, at this time the cycle paths in Belgium leave much to improve. Last but not least, the price. This is the Pinion version, so it has the blinkers left, right. It has high beam, low beam. It has suspension in front. It has belt drive. Complete version costs about €8,000. Velomobile like mine, e-WAW, e-assisted rear suspension, full option, costs now about €14,500. So it is the Velomobile is quite more expensive than this one, but I think it's more versatile. It's more year-round. It is less versatile if you just want to go on a ride. I think I explained that before. With the Velomobile, turning around or making short turns is not that easy. Yesterday I took a little off-road section with the Speedpedelec. That's perfectly feasible even at 35-40 kilometers an hour. With the Velomobile, don't even think about it. That will be much harder. Yeah. So versatility all year round, I would say Velomobile. Versatility, ride wherever you want, I would say Speedpedelec. But this will be very hard in winter conditions, whilst the Velomobile is quite okay in winter conditions. I never not ride because of the cold, unless it would be, I think, minus 10 degrees Celsius, then I would probably not ride the Velomobile either. But this will be, well, you will be in a freezer from temperatures lower than 0 degrees with the wind. And I learned that riding a motorcycle, wind really cools you off very quickly, and that's something certainly to be considered when buying a Speedpedelec. Okay, so this is more or less my my early findings. Otherwise, very pleasant to ride. absolutely powerful and much more comfortable in suspension than the Velomobile because of the small tires. I think on the Velomobile this has really big tires and suspension in the front fork and in the seat post. So all in all, a pleasant experience. Not that I'm going to replace the Velomobile by a Speedpedelec, but I might consider selling the Velomobile, but that's got yeah, some reasons that I'm not ready to explain yet, but I will in the next video probably. Okay, bye bye, see you next time.